Governors.
I mean, I know our issue is completely their software change, but
She never misses, does she?
Has she missed one?
I don't think so. Has she missed any?
I think she was on vacation once down in winter one time, but we
Yeah,
all knew
usually,
about
yes,
that.
you are correct.
I have her number.
yeah, I don't.
I think I got one at the office.
I have a confusing meeting because there's one more Tuesday yet after, a little bit, kind of mixed.
I know I get a
5
free
Tuesdays.
Tuesday this month.
Oh, yeah.
We should be live now.
Oh,
All right, I will call to order the April meeting or April 2024 meeting for the Newham Public Utility Commission. Unfortunately, we do not have a quorum today, so we will go through the agenda, but we will not be approving any items today. So the first item on the agenda is to go through the consent agenda. Chris, is there anything specific about utility operations or minutes you want to point out?
no, not at this time.
All right, so then our second item is to discuss the Employee of the Month and recognize our Employee of the Month.
Okay, Commissioners, the Employee of the Month for March was Nick Price. Nick works in the Steam and Water Department, and he unfortunately has to work in some difficult and unpleasant working situations at times. We recently had an incident where he was needed to weld some pipe in in a district energy manhole with limited room. There was a steam leak in the manhole, so it was excessively hot. He was able to get the temperature down to an acceptable level, go in, get the repairs done in a timely manner, so the system could be brought back up online. Customers had been notified of the steam outage, but there was limited disruption to the service. Nick's welding abilities are instrumental in the success of the steam system. So I want to congratulate Nick Price.
Yes, congratulations, Nick, on all your efforts. All right, our next order of business is to discuss the 2022 Conservation Improvement Program.
Right, good evening. So we don't need to spend much time on this. It's just the annual report I get back from the Department of Health when I submit all our data to them for the conservation improvement programs. This is something that I've brought, at least the last 2 years, I've brought this to the commission just to share that with you all. So this gets reported every June, and then from the prior year's programs. That data is collected, sent to Department of Commerce, and then they do an internal review, and then we generally get a report back sometime around now. So everything here is actually from programs in 2022. It just takes some time for them to go through all utilities in the state to get back this report. We actually do get, attached to the agenda item are 2 reports for the natural gas programs and electric programs. They're kind of auto-generated once I put the data in. So we do get these exact reports that get approved by them eventually. So we do have an idea of how good and successful the programs were. And then additionally, we need to know if it's kind of been pre-approved, because when it gets reported to the Department of Commerce, we also have to plan ahead 2 years, anywhere from a year to 3 years of our programs. So included in this report was the approval of the 2024 programs, which is this year. So that's kind of why they need to auto-generate these reports. But I just kind of put the summary, kind of the key points of this, these larger reports in the overview, which would be the first one is the electric programs. So it kind of has a pass, yes or no type scenario. So as you can see, we met our savings goal. We're close to our spending goal, and then there's other goals. The only other really mandatory goal is the low income spending goal. Everything below is all optional. So in their overall budget, a utility can spend a certain percentage of their overall budget for things like research and development and things like that. Advertising, you can send maybe 10% or so on that. That's where our newsletters come from and get paid for. And then with the natural gas, programs. Those actually weren't required that year, so it wasn't crucial if we met the requirements or not because we didn't meet the minimum sales in the state statutes to offer programs. But we did do a really good job spending money. So that's kind of just a summary. It's just a report that we get each year and that I've been bringing the last few years on the programs. Any questions?
Any questions? No? All right. Thank you, Derek.
Was there something with the, the energy savings goals we were able to carry over, right? So.
Yeah,
Is
right.
there some,
So,
or spending goal, something like that?
right. One way that we were able to meet the savings goals for the electric, there's an asterisk on the bottom of that overview. It says due to carry forward. So as long as we reach a savings goal, I believe if it 1% or the 1.5%, to meet that 1.5%, we can use internal projects. So we were able to meet this particular year's savings goal with our 69 kV project that we did. So that's something that I had sent in to them. We did the calculation internally, sent that out to the Department of Commerce. They verified, and that's something that we can carry over. I think it's up to 5 years. We can carry over that savings. So, yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Thanks, Derek. All right. Our next item is to discuss our invitation to attend the Minnesota Municipal Utility Association's next meeting on interacting on the issues.
Yes, Commissioners, I think some of you attended last year. It was hosted by New Ulm last year. This year, it's going to be hosted by Hutchinson. And it really is geared towards utility leaders and commissioners, just to get information out there on legislative issues that are going on, or even just the future of what's happening in the utility world and stuff. So I wanted to extend the invitation out to you. It's Thursday, June 6th, and we need to, I believe, register by the 24th. So I was just thinking if we could get a confirmation by May 20th, we can get everybody registered. And then we could potentially, depending on how many people we have, I'm sure we could find a van or something like that to take everybody up. So, yeah, if you want to check your calendars, if you're available and would like to attend, please let us know.
All right. Our next order of business, or next item, is to discuss the wastewater treatment plant's earning of the MPCA honors.
Yes, we were notified that we did get the certificate of commendation from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency for the year 2023. This is honoring our wastewater treatment plant in New Ulm. And it was recognized for exceptional compliance with the MPDES and the SDS wastewater permit review periods. So this is an award or a commendation that is sent out. Minnesota has approximately 1,600 municipal and industrial permitted wastewater facilities, and with only about 248 or 15% that achieve the recognition. So it definitely shows that the New Ulm wastewater staff takes pride to protect human health and safeguard the waters of the state. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of the accommodation.
Great job by Dan and team.
Definitely.
Excellent. All right, so this is the first thing that we would be approving. So do we still want to discuss, or do you want to table it for a special meeting?
Why don't we table it for a special meeting?
Okay, so we will table the approval of the FR cybersecurity program. And then so our next item is to discuss the electric system reliability standards and performance. Dan.
Yeah, this is the yearly thing we do every year, as we discussed a little bit ago. This year New Ulm looked very good. And just as recap, just some basic definitions here. Simple answer is the power that there when it's needed. just kind of explain what this is. This is one way we can benchmark our system and compare ourselves to others and just how are we really doing. And again, we use the APPA's e-reliability tracker to analyze and benchmark this. And I did attach the report if you want to read the report. It's real easy reading and it's pretty self-explanatory. Real nice tool that they provide with that software. Again, we do, the three we look at as the three main ones is SAFE System Average Interruption Frequency Index, total number of interruptions divided by the number of customers. SAIDI is the System Average Interruption Duration, so that's how long were you out of power. And that's just the sum of interruptions, durations divided by number of customers. And CAIDI is Customer Average Interruptions Duration Index. So sum of the interruptions, durations divided by total interruptions. So that's how many minutes were you actually out of power if you were had an outage. Again, this year we looked really, really good. I don't know how we can have a better year than this one, so it's kind of, hopefully we can have a better one, not a worse one, but this is the New Ulm was 0.02, which is just incredible. Other comparable utilities in our region, and if you look at the report, they break it up into regions since it's national. So basically it's the 5-state area. We're just a fraction of them there. I have a 5-year average that I've been with the current year carrying forward, just so you see. We've had as high as 0.77, and this year we're at 0.02, which is pretty nice. Now, the IOUs have gone to putting it in their environmental and social governance document, so it's harder to get. And the ones that I have found were actually 2 years out of date. So it would have been, they're always a year behind, but they still had published 21 data. So I just put it in there as not able to get a hold of. And this is us graphed. As you can see, in 10 we had a really bad year. 19 would have been that 0.77 that we talked about a second ago. And then like 21 we had a 0.06, and now we're even better than that. In 23 we're at 0.02. So that's just a graphical representation of what we have.
So,
Hi.
so just to clarify for anyone watching, so what we're saying is for every 100 customers we have, they had 2 interruptions. 2 out of every 100 customers had interruptions.
No. Out of every 10,000 customers, wouldn't it be, we had 2 interruptions? Oh, yeah, you're right. It'd be out of every 100, 2 people had.
Yeah, so basically the average person had 0.02 interruptions.
Good.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
So you never had to reset the clock on your microwave.
Once last year.
Sadie, again, we were very, very good. You see the region, 46.77 minutes, we're at 1.3. So when you were out, it wasn't for very long, if you were the unlucky 2 people out of your 100. And again, our benchmarking for the last 5 years, again, 19 was a rough year. 21, just like in the last slide for the SAFE, was really a good year, but this year we're doing even better. And again, the IOUs weren't available. Oh, sorry, there it is graphed again. So
this one's saying, again, now the average customer had 1.3 minutes without electricity the entire year. Again, amazing.
So out of all those minutes, pretty short time.
Yes.
And here's Katie. We were at a little higher here, 62.5. And when you look, there's 1 or 2 that really drove it up. But still, we're significantly better than the region. Our 5-year, this one hops around a little more. We're still the best out of our 5 years. Again, the IOUs are not playing with others. But there you look at New Ulm, I guess 17, we had a better year, 13 year. Well, like you say, this is the sum of the interruption durations divided by the total number of them. So we had a few, for the few we did have, we had a couple that were a little bit longer. So that skews this statistic.
Right. And yeah, and it can be very misleading, this one, because if you had a bunch of little mini ones, your number would look better,
Right.
but it means you had more interruptions, right? So the fact that we had basically 4 all year is, again, something to be very proud of.
So, here's the outages we have. Literally, we had 4 that were reportable this year. So that's the numbers we're actually talking about. So it's, on June 4th, we had 146 customers due to an equipment failure. We're out for 62 minutes. On July 21st, again, an equipment failure caused 44 customers, 102 minutes. And then these next 2, or the last one especially, 1 customer, due to a bird taken out of a fuse, was out for an hour. That's only 1 person. And 1 customer, due to a tree branch tearing their service off, was out for an hour and a half, or a little over an hour and a half. So those 2, that 1 customer, that duration was kind of the kill. The length was what really hurt the Katy. Again, this is part of the reasons we're getting it. Doing proactive maintenance rather than reactive. Cable replacement, tree trimming. We should have trimmed 1 more, obviously, because Osmos pole testing, and I know we're doing some more of that this year again. 5-year testing of breakers and switches, which is coming up again already. And these are projects that are ongoing, like the Center Street substation bypass. Right now, we're actually just finishing it up, probably by the end of the week. Plan to replace breakers in Center Street. We were gonna do that with the transmission project, but we just have too many things going on, so we've moved that to hopefully be done this fall. It's still on the books to get it done. And we are working through engineering and design for the RTU upgrades for both the power plant and the north side substation right now. Future, again, we got some more relays we want to keep replacing. There is a old transformer that's on our wish list we'd like to replace, but that's very cost prohibitive, but it's going to have to be done at some point. We would like to upgrade some switchgear in the power plant. We're starting to go around and replace some in wastewater and stuff, so this is on the list to be done. And the south side substation needs some upgrades, and the Excel West substation needs some upgrades on the RTUs, but the 4 most important ones will be done after this year, and these 2 will probably be on the budget for next year.
So question, and this is maybe more for Chris in our long-term planning. So clearly we're like in the best of class kind of scenario. So from a future project standpoint, most of this seems like replacement, upgrade, but are we now at the point where we're at about as good of reliability as we're gonna wanna achieve, and now it's making sure that we maintain that level as opposed to, oh, let's see if we can drop it a little bit more by spending a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. Every year is different. It depends on storms that come through or what happens. On the system, heat can cause things to trip or different things like that. And so, we could have a worse year,
For sure.
next year, depending on what. But what this is saying is, yes, we have a very reliable, if everything's working as it should, a very reliable system. And so the things that are out, they're critical, but they're not to the point of the system falling down
Right.
or anything like
So
that.
we're not as focused, like in the past, we've been focused on creating more and more redundancy.
Right.
We've probably hit our level of redundancy now,
Yep.
and let's
Yeah.
just make sure that we continue to keep everything
Yeah,
going.
tip-top
Yeah.
and replace old.
Oh, for sure.
And
And that's part of it.
and that's where we're at. A lot of the things that are on that feasibility study or the infrastructure study is equipment that is past its,
Right, and that
know.
makes
Yep.
complete sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Like I backed up here to future projects, the Center Street substation transformer, that needs to be replaced. It's strictly an age thing. It's 60 years old, and there's not many out there that reach the age of 70 on the system. And it never gets a day off. So you're right, we may see less spending on the distribution side, but in the substations, that's some big, big ticket items.
Yep.
Right, absolutely. We want to maintain the reliability of the system through either proper upgrades, technology-wise, or through replacing old.
Yeah.
Just making sure that we continue to focus on that, because I don't think we're going to get a whole lot better than, we're not going to prevent every tree from falling down. So we shouldn't spend $200,000 more cutting trees so we capture that one that's in my yard. Right? Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm picking up, use the system reliability, planning and design, planning, maintenance, or replacement projects. We just talked about replacement projects for some older infrastructure here. 20-year system plans, we actually do them about every 10 years, so we have an ongoing working document. Built-in redundancy and ability to back up supply, like you talked about. We're getting to the point where we're pretty good on that. There's 1 or 2 areas in town that still need a little work. And undergrounding components, we don't have a lot of dam problems because we have a lot of stuff underground. No icing, no trees, no nothing.
Right.
So, and we're always working on our SCADA system, making improvements so we know more and can react quicker, keep them numbers down. Again, we're glad we have our knowledgeable operators both in the plant and on the distribution side. We can recognize the problems, take appropriate restoration steps in a timely manner, training, and backup primary power delivery point. We have had that 23rd North. So we're getting our town from the our power from 2 different spots. And then we have our generation capacity also that we can call upon. And the steam plant is 21 megawatts. The 2 combustion turbines are 50 megawatts. Conclusions? We're like doing really good. I mean, what else do you can read the numbers, but you can't argue. It's just amazing. Our system is extremely reliable, compares favorably, well, beats pretty much everybody in the region in the IOUs. And again, we've received awards the last few years since we've signed up for this on APPA. That's how they hand out the awards, is how good your ReliaTracker numbers are. And we've been getting them for several years now. So,
All while maintaining a competitive pricing.
yeah, we're always trying to do that. Again, adequate maintenance, system planning, circuits, knowledgeable technicians, and local generations. So, any questions? Yes, sir.
Do industries that are looking to come to New Ulm, do they look at stuff like this?
Definitely.
Because I would imagine downtime is a lot of money too.
Oh, absolutely. It's not only loss of revenue, but, depending on the type of manufacturing company, it could be, you're jamming up machines, or it's product that's, wasted because it's ruined because there was a blip. So, reliability is very important, especially in manufacturing. I'm
If I
sorry.
recall correctly, I think at Kraft, a significant blip could result in like 50,000 plus in loss, just from product that falls off a line and all kinds of different things.
Well, even I would imagine large retail, the big box stores that we have, if the lights shut off and the cash registers don't work and
Yep.
Yep.
customers
Customers
lost.
just leave,
Yeah.
They don't spend their
You
money
hope they
there.
come back
Yep.
later in the day, but
Right.
Exactly.
I know industrially, we have some product lines that are made here just for that lack of interruptions and stuff. We've got several customers that have other facilities that have brought certain product lines here because they know the system will run.
It's awesome.
So Chris, do you advertise this too when you talk to industries? And
Yes. That utilities is part of the pitch and package when we're talking to potential businesses and recruitment activities.
Excellent. Anything else? Thank you, Dan. All right, and our next two items require approval, so I believe we are going to table the Heartland Consumer Product Power District Integrated Resource Plan Cooperative Renewal, as well as the report of claims. So with that, if there's nothing else to be discussed,
So the only thing I guess I would ask
Special
is
meeting
what
time.
might work best for you. We probably want to get, this scheduled relatively quickly so we can get the bills out and that type of thing. So is like an early morning, would that work best, or?
I could do Thursday, I could most definitely do Thursday early morning this week.
We can't vote by email, can we?
No.
No, we can't. No.
So I could do
Thursday?
Thursday early morning
How is your schedule?
or Thursday late.
I'm not scheduled to drive bus in the morning.
In the morning?
Friday, I'm scheduled early, but not Thursday. I'm good Thursday.
Yeah, so maybe let's see if we could do Thursday early morning.
Yeah, early morning, 7:30? Or do we?
I
need
mean,
to
from
be-
my standpoint, I think I'm good until probably around 10.
I'm
Oh,
good-
okay.
I'm
So-
good till 3 in the
Okay,
afternoon.
okay.
I think you know what, let me just double check.
I will
Thursday's
have,
the 25th. Yeah, I have to be on campus by about 11, so I'm good till about 10.
Okay. We'll have Joanne send out an email
Okay.
tomorrow and try to get something scheduled for Thursday morning.
Excellent. Hopefully it works for a couple other commissioners. All right, well, with no other items, I will say meeting adjourned.